Hey, Scorpio, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your February 2025 monthly reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, wow, key themes for the month. Scorpio, you have shadow work, strength, and adventure. I am hearing be kind to yourself. So if you felt a little extra burdensome, or perhaps you haven't been as kind to yourself lately, this is a month where you're letting go. Bottom of the deck, you have letting go here. This can be letting go of preconceived notions. I'm also getting broken contracts. So perhaps you have made a pact with yourself, like I will do this, or this is what I want to do moving forward. But for whatever reason, we tend to break those contracts. They may be between ourselves or with another. I feel like you're addressing some sort of broken contract. That may be why the shadow work is coming in here. You've gone through a lot of inner healing. Some of you, this is post-traumatic stress. Perhaps you are seeking a therapist or a healer, a shaman, a Reiki practitioner, and I do feel like you've worked through a lot. There may be something that you are seeing within you or within another at this time, and it gives you a new perspective on life or a new perspective on a relationship here or your health. When you have the strength card here, you've gone through some stuff mixed with the shadow. Okay, you may have been on the fast track to soul growth in some way, meaning you may have gone through back-to-back struggles or challenges, but I feel like you have some exciting times ahead. That's why adventure is smack dab in the middle of the shadow and the strength, because this does talk about a new quest, a new opportunity, a spiritual quest. I'm getting 8 of Cups energy. All right, 8 of Cups, even though I don't see that here, in the cards, but I feel like you are moving towards more fulfillment, but you may have some last pieces of the puzzle to put together. But the good news is the pieces are right in front of you. And you're excited because you now can see where those last pieces go. If you've ever done a puzzle and you have about 3 pieces of that puzzle left, you can basically look at the piece and you know where it goes. And I feel like that's where you're at this month. You've dealt with maybe a deception, okay? Perhaps some sort of deception, either from self, maybe that's the broken pact or contract with you or with another. And I just feel like you are keeping your promise. There's a message here about keeping your promise from here on out, not telling yourself things that are unmanageable or an expectation you cannot meet. Perhaps you are letting go of people who cannot keep their promise or keep their word in some way. You have the vessel as your archetype. This is interesting. As you see, the body here, perhaps this has to do with your health, with your body, but we'll of course look at all areas, Scorpio. We'll look at your health, your money, love life, family. So let's dive in here. We have shadow work. This can be about buried emotions. There may be emotions coming to the surface here for you this month to really take a look at from a different perspective. If you have healed, right? If you've healed, perhaps you can look back with acceptance or with gratitude or even with a smile on your face saying, wow, I made it through. And I am a stronger version of myself because of it. I never gave up. And I see that You're coming face to face with your fears. And this is a very empowering time for you. Whatever those fears are, perhaps they are, insecurities about moving forward. And maybe that's why there has been a contract that hasn't fully been fulfilled. This could also be around your spiritual gifts. This could be around your career, your relationships. For some of you, this has to do with stability in your family or your foundation, because you do have the 10 of Pentacles here. The 10 of Pentacles, it is about possessions and status that block genuine connections. And you may have grown up where you had a father who was a workaholic or absent in some way, or perhaps you had a mother who may have had addictions or mental health. There may have been a family dynamic that you have struggled with on an internal personal level, causing you to go through fight or flight or fawn, which I've been talking about for a while now, because this has been coming up where it's time to go through a cellular shift, if you will, a repairing of our DNA. And I've been getting that message here for a while, where a lot of us spiritual seekers, light workers, healers, coaches, teachers, mentors, we are feeling the shift. Our bodies are feeling the shift. And I see that you've done a lot of work, but there's still a couple of final pieces here for you to trust, because you have the High Priestess showing up. It's in reverse. The High Priestess is about our intuition. And perhaps you may have detached, that fight or flight, that can be the flight part. The flight is when we disassociate or we become avoidant or we kind of check out. And if you have done that, you may feel like there's something coming back into your conscious awareness this month for you to really take a look at from a healing point of view. Now you have the Strength card. Scorpio, you will persevere. That's where your strength comes from here. The pact, the promise that you will continue to move forward no matter what. This is about overcoming obstacles and overcoming possibly health issues, because you can see fitness at the bottom here of the card. So I feel like you're regaining your strength. There's a renewed sense of determination here. The 10 of Pentacles also can be about family ties, financial security, legacy, long-term growth, and positions moving forward. And because you have the Adventure card, this is exciting. That may be the perspective shift that is needed and required, because you are looking at a situation that's come to the surface and you're saying, okay, this has caused me to hold back. This has caused me to not fully activate my highest potential in some way. Perhaps it's been a relationship that has held you back. Perhaps it's been, a condition or a belief that was ingrained very early on in your childhood or in your early years. And I just see you examining it from the point of view of a healed, conscious being. And now you're saying the sky's the limit. That's the missing piece here. The missing piece, you're finally putting that puzzle piece in, and you're realizing that you have unlimited potential here, that the world is your oyster, that there are possibilities beyond. And if you've been sitting on something, sitting on a decision, or perhaps you have been holding yourself back or detached or withdrawn, this is the time where it all comes together energetically and even mentally for some of you, because you're starting off with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about letting go, which remember is your bottom card. So this is what's bubbling to the surface. This may be a part of the missing piece. This is you liberating yourself. Goodbyes, growth, ascension, closure. That could be a big one. Closure towards the past and acceptance. Because when those two pieces come together, you're free. You've healed. It does not mean that, it doesn't hurt sometimes when you think about it, or it doesn't mean that it's never going to come up, but it means that when you do, you witness it. You are the observer. You're not stuck in that energy of the trauma that has occurred in the past or the conditioning. That's what post-traumatic stress is. The body doesn't know the difference between a bee sting or a bomb, right? When you go through some situation, the body brings you right back there because it keeps score. And I feel like you're letting go of that trauma. You're letting go of something that has been very difficult for you, and there's a new life ahead, but you now have closure. I mean, this is big. This is a big deal for you. And the Hanged Man is about an awakening. Oftentimes you will see the crown chakra illuminated. So you are closer to your divine self than you've ever been. This is about you having this awakening, this breakthrough, this aha moment after a time of feeling like you were hung up, feeling like life had put a pause on you, right? Feeling like there was a delay. But because you've surrendered and you've said, okay, I've done the work here. I've surrendered into this healing phase, and I didn't give up on the contract that I made with myself. Perhaps that was a part of it. Maybe there were empty promises because those pieces still yet were needing to be connected. This is that piece, the letting go. But now that you finally release this, you're able to move forward in authenticity. You're able to move forward in honesty and integrity and truly live in purpose, walk in purpose here, because you have the King of Cups. This is heart chakra expansion. And Scorpio, if you have not already signed up for my monthly newsletter, I only put out one newsletter a month, and it's jam-packed full of juicy information. So for the month of February, I have included a lot of heart chakra energy in that newsletter. You can sign up, check the description box below if you would like to get in on that action. But the King of Cups is all about love and support. The King of Cups is emotionally intelligent. I mean, you are the water element of the cups. This is you. Male or female, it doesn't matter. I feel like this is you, or this could be what you are attracting because you are holding the same energy, the same vibration. Now, this is someone who is supportive, someone who's loving, someone who is kind. I'm getting that quote, love is patient, love is kind, love does not boast, love does not envy. You're tapping into the cosmic heart, which is unconditional love. A lot of times we as souls having this human experience, we put conditions on love. But when you tap into the cosmic heart, which is what I see you're doing here, you are seeing beyond the hurt, the pain, the superficiality. You're seeing beyond, just the human piece of it. And that's part of the ascension. That's part of the growth. Now, sometimes the King of Cups can be emotionally distant until he's able to trust. And you may have been in that emotionally distant piece. Okay, perhaps that was part of the missing piece where you kept everyone at a hand's length because you weren't sure if you would be able to trust them. And now you're letting your guard down here. There's a sense of vulnerability in your work, a sense of authenticity in your work, in your relationships, between you and your own self. You're saying, what can I do to feel, right? To feel is the key. That Pisces energy that we have rolling in towards the end of February, your fellow bestie. It's about feeling. Does this feel good to me? If I eat this entire bag of chips, does it feel good? Now you're going to realize that things that may have felt good in the past, maybe that did feel good. Maybe it was a comfort food, but it probably didn't feel good 30 minutes later when everything was settling. But even the things that did comfort you, if they were unhealthy, Scorpio, you're going to know it right away. You're going to take one bite of that chip and you're going to say, this doesn't even taste good. This doesn't do it for me anymore. Same goes for relationships. Same goes for, activities that are not aligned. You're going to see them falling away. That's why you have the letting go card here. Now we have the High Priestess. The fact that she's in reverse tells me that you may have been a little bit disconnected from your intuition because you were going through the shadows. And sometimes when we go through the shadow, we don't often realize, what is intuition? What is our fears? Is this something we need to heal? Is this our intuition telling us something? We can get confused. It can become jarbled. And I see here that you're moving through that and you're saying, wait a second, that intuition isn't going to instill fear. That intuition isn't my conditioning. That intuition is my higher self, my cheerleader, the one that is here to help me walk through this earthly plane in my highest good. You're tapping in. You may even be learning new spiritual practices, new spiritual routines, such as, journaling, guided meditation, yoga. You may even be tapping into tarot, astrology, runes. You may be studying. You see the books in the background. Instead of getting information just externally though, which you may be tapping into your spiritual toolbox, I feel like you're really going within. And there is a heightened sense of awareness that you have here with this High Priestess energy. This is about spiritual insight. And if there were communications that may have been cut off, that's what I see is you may be cutting off communication that it depletes you. It has you questioning your own potential. You're saying, I don't want to do that, Mel. I don't want to be in dynamics that have me questioning my sanity, questioning myself, questioning my path, my purpose, even though sometimes there's a good questioning, but when it comes from mental muckery, manipulation, or narcissism, or, whatever it be, I feel like you're disconnecting from that because it is adding to your stress or your anxiety, and you don't need that because where you're going, you don't want to take that with you. Where you're going here is the 10 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, and you're letting go, 4 of Pentacles, something you've been sitting on here. This is hanging on or letting go. And instead of hanging on, which maybe you've been doing with that Hanged Man, because sometimes we fight to hang on and we fight to let go. The story of most of our lives, right? And the 4 of Pentacles here is saying, you may be withholding your affection towards, or your energy, maybe not affection, could be with the heart, but this is about you applying your energy towards people, places, and things that align more with this spiritual mission and quest ahead, instead of focusing so heavily on people who deplete you, energies that deplete you, or even contracts that we tend to not be able to fulfill, right? Saying something to someone, but we can't keep that end of the bargain, or they themselves are breaking contracts. It's exhausting. We are so busy trying to repair the broken contract that we don't have time and energy to move in a direction that really fills us up, that we can feel the flow instead of feel resistance. That's what you're releasing. And the 6 of Pentacles is reciprocity. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. There's no I in teamwork. If this relationship is going to work, right, we got to be a team. If this job is going to work, we have to be able to get along. We have to be able to communicate. We have to be able to talk. And I see here the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles is beautiful because you are letting it go. You're advancing. You're moving from the 4 to the 6. That's great because it means that you don't even have to get, intermingled with the 5 of Pentacles. You can jump right over the 5. Because you've been humbled. You don't have to let pride and ego get in the way. And the 6 of Pentacles is unexpected resources. It can be gifts from the universe here. It can even be helping others, being helped. It's sharing, it's exchange, it's kindness. And it doesn't mean that it all happens at once, right? Sometimes you help someone out, a month ago, and that good karma is going to come back to you a month later, a year later, a decade later. I mean, there's a balance, there's an ebb and flow. And for some of you, you have been wondering, when is it going to be my time? Not coming from maybe a victim mentality. Maybe it was with the shadow. Perhaps there was a bit of victim mentality of why me, or why am I still going through this, or why is everybody else getting, what they want, but I'm over here on the sidelines. And that is part of what you are saying. Wait a second. I don't need to be the victim. I can be the hero, the heroine in my own story. And you absolutely are, because you're extending here. It feels like there's an extension here of like an olive branch. There is good juju between you and someone else, or between you and a company, or between you and what you are attracting, because you are rising up from that shadow energy, and you're saying, I deserve goodness. I deserve the good, just like everybody around me. But instead of falling into a comparison trap, you are manifesting the life that you want for yourself. You are being of service, because you realize that by giving, you will receive. That is the law of cause and effect, the law of give and take, the law of karma. These are universal laws, right? That if you put out good, you're going to get it back. And I see here that part of getting it back is also part of giving. You have the 10 of Pentacles. This is financial security. This is about you bringing in a long-term goal that you've been working hard on, or hard towards, for basically your whole life. For some of you, this feels like it's been a long time coming with that Hanged Man energy. Perhaps you were hung up on some sort of shadow, which had caused you to disconnect from a family member. And even if you stay disconnected from a family member, at least you're able to see it from, a different point of view, a different perspective now. Instead of maybe that victim mentality, you're looking at it as, as something else entirely. Or perhaps there is a mending. There could be a coming together. Maybe there's an apology. There could be an amends taking place here. But I feel like you are breaking even generational trauma. Okay, you could be okay, I keep wanting to say draining. You may not be contributing to the energy that drains you, that has to do with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you are applying it to this new exciting adventure, which is going to leave a legacy behind. That's what it is here. All right. So regarding health, some of you, this has to do with autoimmune. Okay. Autoimmune. This may be Lyme's, Scorpio. This could be like Parkinson's. I think, is that autoimmune? For others of you, the Hanged Man can be circulation. It can even be, blood flow. It can be lymphatic system, nervous system, which ties into that fight or flight or fawn. If you resonate with this, you may want to look into the polyvagal theory, which is, fight or flight or fawn. And it stems from trauma. Okay. So the polyvagal theory could be beneficial for some of you. You have the key. There's the key in your hand. You see, the Hanged Man has the key to unlock something. You're unlocking a part of your shadow self. And by unlocking it, I feel like you can give it love. That's why the King of Cups is here. You can give this love. And if this is someone in your family that you've been dealing with, there may be a part of the piece, the puzzle that is coming together, and you can see it from a viewpoint now of someone else's trauma, someone else's maybe buried shame or victim mentality. And that doesn't mean that the way that they behaved, the way that they behaved or treated you is okay, but you also can forgive the experience or the person or the situation, and you can love from a distance. Okay, so health. What else do we have for health? Some of you, this could even be inherited, like inherited patterns. Perhaps there's also an illness or a health concern that mom or dad had or grandma had, whether it be like diabetes, or perhaps there's something that runs in the bloodline. I feel like that could be worth looking at here as well. Now, what else do we have for health? Some of you, heart health. Okay, heart health. This can be around the heart chakra. It can be loneliness. It can be depression. It can be heart palpitations, stroke, breast cancer, anything of that region. So that may have been something that has occurred in the past for you, or you could be going to see maybe a cardiologist here as well. If you have any issues whatsoever regarding health, please seek medical professional guidance and see the disclaimer in the description box below. All right, you're recovering your strength. I am also getting that. If you felt low on vitality, low on energy, your adrenals may have been fatigued. Okay, your adrenals may have been fatigued. And I'm also getting here the thyroid. So that can often be viral. Okay, oftentimes that thyroid can be due to viruses in the body, specifically Epstein-Barr virus, and that can attack the thyroid. So just putting that out there. Now let's take a look at wealth, abundance, career, money. You've been a bit precarious here, or it feels like you are trying to prepare, okay? Prepare for worst case scenario for some of you. It may be because you're picking up on the energies of, what's going on maybe around the world, or you may be trying to save for retirement. It says here there have been a lot of ups and downs in your finances. Yeah. If you feel like finances, you've been either stuck in a limbo here, or there was an empty promise. Someone was saying you were going to get that raise, but yet it's 2 years later and you're still in the same position. There's money coming in fast and going out just as quickly. Fast changes regarding money or an unexpected turn. That could be part of what this 10 of Pentacles is. There could be an unexpected, gift coming in here, a financial windfall or a blessing with this 6 of Pentacles. And I feel like this helps you out. This helps you out in some way because things haven't been as easy for you financially. For those of you that this resonates with. Now, for others of you, you may be a psychic, you may be a healer, a light worker. King of Cups could be in the medical profession, maybe a doctor, a massage therapist, a social worker, a Reiki practitioner. Now, you may be considering creating multiple streams of income. For those of you, maybe business owners, or even if you do work in the corporate world, you're looking at ways to bring in multiple streams. Some of you, it's real estate, I'm hearing. It says you could have a second job, an odd job. Freedom is more important than financial security. I have to back this up regarding health. I just said second jab. I don't know if you heard that Freudian slip there. So second jab. Now, of course, that can be, you all know what the jab is, most of you. Perhaps that is something that comes up collectively or, on a global level. Just keep that in mind. You may have some long-term effects. All right, that could be part of the Hanged Man. If you did get that, or maybe that's part of what you are working, healing, or you could be guiding others in some way, or perhaps you're seeing some effects of a second jab. I'm just going to leave that there. It says freedom is more important at times than financial security, or it feels like you were sitting on something because financial security was more important, but perhaps now you're looking at multiple ways to feel freedom. Some of you may even be working from home, working from anywhere in the world, contemplating moving to a new place, a new country with that adventure here. Sometimes it's okay to take a transition job, even if it doesn't lead to a career. So I do see you embracing long-term stability and long-term growth here, perhaps in a traditional way or non-traditional, because you do have the 10 of Pentacles here. You have science. Keep an open mind. Something is unfolding for you. And look we have the scientist here. It could be medical. She's looking in the microscope there. Maybe that's that cellular DNA that I was mentioning earlier. Some of you may even be getting work done, blood work done, labs done. You may be a chemist. You may be in forensics, a biochemist, or anything in the field of science or medical or health science as well. Research science, data analysis, things of that nature. Apply a scientific approach to your business or financial problem. And then lastly here, we have the face. You're facing something head on. You're facing a fear. And this is about exposure, reputation, fame. For some of you, you could even be in the spotlight. Perhaps you're sharing your story. You're sharing an issue, a concern, a lesson that you've gone through, and it's going to take vulnerability. But remember, vulnerability is our greatest strength, and that is one of your key themes here, Scorpio. This is about money skills, investing, taking risks, absolutely. And that's what the Four of Pentacles reminds you, because if he sits on that treasure chest, he's never going to take a risk. And the cat there, you see the cat is looking up into the open window saying, hey, wait a second, let's get up off this treasure chest here, because you don't even know, there could be something more bountiful out there. And I feel like that's what you are facing here. You are willing to let go of, again, any fears, any preconceived notions, or any feelings of loss. Okay, loss, like if I get up off of this treasure chest, I'm going to lose, right? I'm going to lose if I open up the portal to a new opportunity here. But that may be a mindset that you're letting go of, because there's something wonderful and beautiful coming in here for you, a blessing. The Six of Pentacles is an unexpected resource, a gift, a donation, a grant, a scholarship, taxes, charitable contributions. There's some sort of help coming in here for you financially, it looks like, that will lead towards, your long-term growth. This will help you out in some way. For some of you, it could even be an inheritance, or maybe a settlement that's been ongoing for quite some time. All right, let's take a look at love. Family. Oh, there's a snake. There's a snake. And that could be part of the shadow. You were dealing with someone who was constantly one-upping. Maybe this is a sibling for some of you. It just feels like someone was one-upping you. They had to be better than you by one. Like it could never be balanced. It could never be even. And maybe it was even the other woman. Maybe you were looking over your shoulder. This can be about competition or even an enemy. I'm getting a frenemy as well. Someone who had posed to be a friend, excuse me, or you thought that they were a friend or a family member, but they turned on you. And there's some backstabbing here. Heartbreak, pain, separation, loss, deception, lies. You may have even been attacked. A shocking attack at that. And you're like, where did this come from? Who are you? Yeah, whew. And that caused you to go through some shadows, and maybe that took a lot of work to heal from. Yeah, because the mask now. Yeah, and you may have ran. Maybe someone ran. That's the runner energy. That can be that flight. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of Dodge. I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to disassociate. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to go cold. I'm going to ghost. I don't want to deal with it. Fear of intimacy, running away, because it's too intense to deal with, because it triggers some sort of traumatic experience, and you're letting it go. There's a tumultuous energy around this, but look at, you have the mask and you have the face. These two, this could be in your career even, okay? There's something here about taking off the mask and revealing what is underneath, and you're able to see something or someone for what it truly is. And you may even be able to unlock a part of your own psyche, your own wounds that maybe you've ran from, perhaps you've hid from, because this was heavy. This was a heavy hitter that you've gone through here. And now you may be putting yourself back out there again with a tad bit of fear, but your intuition is strong here. You have a very, very great ability to tap in. And just because Perhaps you've gone through a situation in the past where you feel like your intuition didn't warn you. You're like, wait a second, why didn't you tell me that this person was bad, or they were going to hurt me, or they were going to do this? Oftentimes we're meant to go through those situations because of karmic contracts, right? Or experiences that we are meant to, respond to in different ways. It's not because your intuition was off. So don't let that block your intuition. And some of you may have subconsciously blocked it. You may have said, well, maybe I'm broken. Maybe my built-in BS detector is broke, but it's not. You are very, very intuitive. You are spiritually evolved, and you have what it takes to help a lot of people here, whether in your family, your bloodline, the people you work with, your clients, the world at large. I mean, this is a big energy. And I do see here marriage. There's something about marriage down the road, or reciprocity. Perhaps you're in a marriage and you've been dealing with a family drama, family situation. Maybe there's been someone that you've stopped communicating with, or they've cut you off in some way. But I do see here the Ten of Pentacles. You have people in your corner. The people who are meant to be in your corner will be, and the people who are not will kind of fall out of your life here. All right, last but not least, you have the vessel. So let's take a look, Scorpio, and see what the vessel is for you. This is the body, the container, the cup. Oh, okay. It feels like after some sort of shadow, a tower may have occurred for you. Okay, after a tower. Is there a tower at the bottom? Okay, Knight of Swords. It was like Spirit said there's a tower at the bottom. So I wasn't sure if it was at the bottom of the deck, or the tower was something that's occurred. Typically, at the bottom, it can be deep in your foundation or in your subconscious. But I am getting here, after a tower, your body had adverse reactions. Your body may not have been able to fully process something in a healthy way. Therefore, it may have caused some symptoms. I just got that message here, but because you have the freedom, I feel like you're working on releasing. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid. Stoves hold fire. Our bodies hold organs. Our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs. Savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full, or perhaps there is no vessel at all, and the contents spill in every direction? It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. It is time for you to build. Is it time for you to build, break, or repair? You must find out. When this is showing up as the light, it's stable, it's strong, it's graceful. When it's showing up in the dark, it's trapped, it's being in a bubble. If you want to go deeper, listen to the Rolling Stones, Loving Cup. The physical body is the most sacred vessel of all. It is the one in which you reside from your first breath to your last. It may need your attention. And lastly here, the mentor and the healer must pay particular attention to this archetypal form. Healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. Wow. All right. I have full body goosebumps here because a lot of you are the mentor and the healer. And remember, I kept saying here, cellular DNA, cellular repair. Your intuition is alerting you of something. Your body, right? Our bodies are constantly working with our intuition to alert us of certain things, whether it be a sprained pinky, whether it be, a headache, whether it be butterflies, whether it be nerves, sweating, whatever it is, pay attention. Okay, pay attention because that is giving you direct intuitive wisdom towards what's going on within. Okay. And that can change everything when you pay attention. And I feel like you are. And some of you are helping other people create a strong, safe container for them to fulfill their purpose and mission here on earth. That is what I have for you, Scorpio. If this resonates, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you again so much for being here today. Lots of love.